Greetings and welcome. It is a pleasure to have you listen to this presentation. I do not take it for granted, and if you're new and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to this YouTube channel so that you don't miss out, and click the notification bells. Otherwise, you're welcome. And today we are going to talk about 7 essential safety tips in the home. Many of us have homes. Some of them have children. Some they are all grown up, or still not children yet. But these apply to every situation, and you'll find out the one that you haven't complied with and why you need to do it, and some of the things that will save the house, will save your life, and you don't want to take it for granted. The first one is on fire safety. Fire safety can come as a result of an outbreak of fire, whether it is electrical, whether it is from the cooking appliances like the gas, and you'd want to look at measures to avoid this from happening. We have had serious incidences of burns cases appearing in the hospitals because of gas explosions, because of electrical fires, and sometimes they are fatal, and you don't want to go through such. One, never leave cooking appliances unattended. Sometimes you cook and forget, either go to sleep or go to watch a program in another room, and things burn, and sometimes you burn until they cause a fire. So never leave cooking appliances unattended. Secondly, avoid overloading of electrical appliances or outlets to avoid in getting electrical fires, setting up electrical fires. So you'd want to ensure that whatever is has been recommended for use the sockets and the electrical equipment that you are using to do cooking, or to do certain things in the kitchen, like a blender, like processing foods. You'd want to make sure you're not overloading that electrical line and the outlets, and always use surge protectors in case there's a power outage or power surge. When a lot of electricity comes in than recommended, and this will protect those gadgets from catching fire. Create and practice fire escape plan with all family members. People need to know the escape routes in case of a fire in the kitchen, in case of a fire upstairs, that you would have identified the routes that people can use in case of a fire. This applies even to facilities, but now we're talking about the home, and it's important that all know what to do in case of a fire outbreak. Keeping fire extinguishers available, the fire blankets, and I am glad to know that some of the children that are going through some of the first aid trainings in the schools, they learn about this in schools, about management of fire, and they'll even tell you at home that you need to use when you need to use water to put out a fire, or when you need to use sand and all that, and making sure that their fire extinguishers are nearby in the kitchen, the garage, the possible sites where fires can break out. We need to look out to prevent smoke inhalation so that there's not too much smoke. Sometimes the gadgets we are using, maybe the Jiko, the cooking charcoal stove, is producing a lot of smoke. Again, you want to minimize effects of that. Somebody can inhale and choke. Somebody can inhale from the Jiko if it's in a closed space. So you want to put safety measures, and also ensure that um, the gas is well positioned. Sometimes, in fact, in modern buildings, you find the gas is positioned outside and an inlet comes in. This is very safe. It prevents that. We have had gas explosions. So if it is leaking or not properly attached and there is a fire breaking out, it can be a disaster. Second one is electrical safety. We have highlighted a bit about avoiding overloading of sockets, and you'd want to replace any damaged electrical wires, no exposed wires, keeping liquids away from the electrical appliances or outlets, making sure if there are children in the house that you put protectors so that children do not attempt to put stuff in those sockets. We have had incidences in the hospital where a child comes having, dies because of that, where they have put a nail or a metal into the socket and they are brought in dead to the hospital. So you need to look out for that they are safe, the child is safe in that environment. Don't overload the electrical circuits with too many devices. Again, you are cooking here, charging, or putting on a system, music system, and all that. This can explode and lead to a fire. Another safety precaution at home, the third one, is prevention of falls. If you have an elderly person in the house, you would want to put in gadgets that will make sure the environment, the room that they are in, is safe. like the rails in the bathroom or holding toilet seats, some support as they shower, some support as they use the toilet so that to prevent falls. If the floor is being cleaned, you want to dry it completely so that there is no water slippages from water. Installing handrails on the stairs which provide support, and regularly checking that they are in good condition. Using non-slip mats in the bathrooms and toilets and potentially wet areas, they really help prevent incidences. We have had injuries, incidences of people falling in the bathrooms, injuring their arms, their body parts, and some actually fatal. You want to also keep walkways clear of clutter or luggages, and have a well-lit walkway so that people don't reduce incidences of them falling, and having ladders to use in case of accessing high areas and climbing so that they don't overfall as they stretch to reach high surfaces. The fourth one is home security. We are looking at safety in the homes. The fourth one is home security. Installing good quality locks on doors and windows. Remember, before somebody comes to steal, sometimes they have done a survey and seen where the weak point is, whether there are padlocks that can easily be plucked, the locks that can easily be opened, and windows. So you want to use good quality locks. Invest on those ones, windows and doors, and putting grills to minimize, make it hard for somebody to break into your home. Consider installing a home security system so that you have backup in case of that, where you have buttons you can press or electrical fence and all that. There are several things that you can do to make sure the home is safe. Of course, even dogs, putting the security dogs will be able to alert you in case of an entry, illegal entry. I have adequate outdoor lighting, especially now with the solar advent of solar gadgets. You can have them which you don't use so much. You either use little electricity or make use of the sunshine, the sunlight, to be able to produce light in the evening. When they charge during the day, and at night you have lighting across your compound. Keeping shrubs and trees around near your windows and the walls trimmed so that they avoid hiding places. So that when you are approaching your gate, or as they are preparing to, you sleep at night, they have hidden and made their way into, they gain access to your facility or your home. Don't also over advertise your absence. Sometimes we are fond of putting our daily social habits, our activities or movements on social media, and people are watching and seeing that this house is vacant, the owner has traveled out of the country or far away, and they know that they have a lot of time to gain access and steal from you. So you want to avoid that, because you never know who is reading those comments or those your channels, social media channels. The fifth one is general safety measures, like keeping hazardous chemicals and medications, sharp objects out of reach of children, clearly labeling these products, and keeping them in their original containers. In fact, in audits in an institution, especially like health institutions, you'd want to check if items are labeled correctly labeled, because there are certain ways to minimize hazards and injuries happening. And the best way would be by knowing what it is that is in the container. And even in incidences at home, that a child has drunk a fluid, as you rush them to hospital, you will be asked, what do you think? What do you think the chemical was? What do you think they drank? Was it an acid? Was it a base? Because that also makes it easier to treat them and minimize harm or even loss of life. You want to secure heavy furniture around the house so that prevent tripping or people falling over them, and regularly checking and maintaining condition of your home structure, the walls, the roofs, the stairs, the rails, the floor tiles, so that to avoid injuries. The seventh one and final one is emergency preparedness. Okay, you would want to keep emergency kits, first aid kit, food, water, things standby, especially if you're in an area that is prone to such incidents like earthquakes, mudslides, heavy rains, too much rain. You want to make sure that you are ready for during such seasons, because when it happens, you have no time to start gathering things. So you want to have your emergency kits, essential supplies nearby, where you can just pick and go in case an alert is given or an emergency disaster occurs. Another one is to have a list of emergency contacts readily available so that help can be sought. It is easy for somebody to seek help. And do familiarize yourself with the location and operation shut-off valves of where water, gas, electricity. Some they may living in the house and did not know how to cut off power, how to cut off the gas, how to cut off water in case there is a flooding or water is pouring and is a leak somewhere. You want to identify how to stop. Before the electricians come, you need to have even put a stop to this. If it is electricity, you want to know where is your panel, your where the panel that contains all the switches so that you can cut off power and be able to minimize the damage that the fires or the hazards or the problem could have. In conclusion, maintaining safety in the home requires ongoing attention and awareness, and regularly reviewing and updating safety measures for all of us, for everyone that is in the house, everyone that lives in the home, doing a risk assessment to check with the children or adults, the elderly, whether they are safe, the environment is safe. Even when you are building your facility, the home, you want to look at safety measures so that it is safe. You're putting in gadgets or installing gadgets that are safe to use. Just imagine, some can be very beautiful and nice, but hazards and injuries are a lot. So you want to be safe in your house so that you enjoy a peaceful time, avoid frequent rushing to hospital or even loss of life or loss of items because of thieves coming. You might be in a very beautiful place and thieves are just walking in and out, and it's quite frustrating. And yes, you don't want to go through that. So I appreciate you for taking time to listen to safety in our homes. I hope that we are inspired to look around, to do a survey, to do a second review in our ongoing evaluation of the safety in the home, so that everyone is safe, so that we are safe, and everyone is well. Thank you so much, and do remember to subscribe so that you don't miss out on this. Thank you.